Get the fuck out. Gabriel Laurent's roar shattered the silence of the 70th floor penthouse at 2:17 a.m. Crystal smashed against marble. Red alerts bled across 6 screens, billions vanishing in real time. He spun, ready to destroy whoever dared walk in tonight. Then she stepped through the door anyway. Calm, unafraid, eyes like dark fire. I heard you, she said, voice low, velvet rough. But in 30 minutes you won't have an empire left to scream at. He opened his mouth to fire her. She was already walking toward his desk, uniform hugging dangerous curves, curls escaping like secrets. And before he could stop her, her fingers were on his keyboard, saving everything he was about to lose. Have you ever wanted someone so badly it terrified you? Have you ever met a stranger who saw straight through every wall you built? Tonight, one furious word almost cost a billionaire his soul, and the woman he tried to throw out became the only one who could catch him when he fell. Welcome back, beautiful people, my loyal subscribers. I love you for being here. New faces? Hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss a story that will leave you breathless and believing in love again. Like this video if you've ever been saved by someone you almost pushed away. Comment, "She saw him," if you're already hooked. Rain hammered the glass like the sky itself was furious. Gabriel stood frozen as this woman, this cleaning woman, sat in his $10,000 chair and started typing like she belonged there. Green code blossomed across black screens. Numbers that had been hemorrhaging red began to slow. Breathe. Stabilize. He found his voice. Who the hell are you? She didn't look up. Naomi Duval. I push a cart on Thursdays. Tonight I'm pushing back against whoever just tried to murder your fund. Her fingers never stopped moving, but her next words sliced straight through him. They're still inside your system, Gabriel. Watching us right now. He stepped closer, drawn by the calm in her voice and the heat rolling off her skin. How do you know my name? Now she turned. Those eyes locked on his and refused to let go. Because I've been watching you watch the city for 2 years. Every Thursday night you stand at that window like you're waiting for something to save you. The room felt suddenly too small. Lightning flashed, painting her face in silver cheekbones sharp enough to cut, lips full and parted just enough to make his pulse stutter. He swallowed hard. Your NSA? Was. A bitter smile. They called me Ghost Protocol. Then they decided ghosts don't deserve health insurance. Another alert died on screen. She leaned back, rolling her neck. Your cold wallets are safe. For now. Gabriel's knees almost buckled. Billions. Saved by the woman he'd just screamed at. He reached for the 1,926 Macallan with shaking hands, poured 2 fingers, offered it. She took the glass, fingers brushing his electric. Their eyes held. Name your price, Naomi. She sipped, never breaking contact. I already told you. Remember my name. Naomi. He repeated rough, like he was learning how to pray. She set the glass down, stepped so close he could feel her breath on his throat. Good boy. Then she turned to leave. He caught her wrist, gentle, desperate. Don't go. She looked back, something ancient and soft flickering in her eyes. Then asked me to stay. Please. The city disappeared. He backed her against the rain-streaked window, 40 stories high. Her mouth found his hot, demanding, tasting like expensive whiskey and redemption. She bit his lower lip just hard enough to make him groan. His hand slid under her uniform, finding warm skin, the tremble in her breath when his thumbs grazed lace. She arched into him, nails scraping the back of his neck. Tell me to stop, he growled against her throat. Don't you dare, she whispered. Buttons scattered. Fabric whispered to the floor. Her skin glowed against the storm-lit skyline, shoulders, breasts, the soft curve of her waist he suddenly needed to memorize with his mouth. He lifted her onto the desk. Papers flew like startled doves. When his lips closed over her nipple, she gasped his name, Gabriel, like it was the only word she'd ever needed. Her fingers tore his shirt open, palms gliding over scars he'd hidden from everyone. She looked at him, really looked, and smiled like she'd found treasure. Touch me like you're afraid I'll vanish, she breathed. He entered her slowly, watching her eyes flutter shut, lips part on a silent cry. They moved together, urgent, unapologetic, the storm outside keeping perfect time. After, they collapsed onto the wide leather couch, her head on his chest, his fingers tracing the dip of her spine. I fired you, he murmured into her hair. She laughed, low and smoky. Try harder next time. He kissed her temple. Never again. But then, Her phone buzzed on the floor. One line glowed on the screen. "You should have stayed invisible." She sat up, sheet clutched to her chest, every muscle suddenly battle-ready. Gabriel's heart stopped. "Naomi?" She met his eyes. Deadly calm. "The person who tried to destroy you tonight just threatened to destroy me." Lightning cracked across the sky like the night was only getting started. Comment: "She stayed if you felt that kiss in your soul." Hit the bell so you don't miss what happens when a billionaire falls for the one woman who can ruin him or save him forever. Dawn bled rose gold across the penthouse when Naomi finally spoke the words that changed everything. "They know who I am now, Gabriel, and they know I stopped them." He sat up, still naked, sheets tangled at his waist. "Who are they?" She pulled on his white dress shirt, nothing else, and the sight of her in it, sleeves rolled, hem brushing mid-thigh, made him want to drag her back to bed even while fear clawed his chest. "Someone inside your circle," she said, pacing barefoot across Italian marble. "The attack was too elegant. They used your own satellite trading platform against you. That's not a random hacker. That's family." He flinched at the word. She stopped in front of him, cupped his face with both hands. "Listen to me. I can find them, but I'm not leaving this apartment as the cleaning lady anymore. If I stay as yours, all the way." His answer was instant. "Move in. Today." She searched his eyes. "You don't know what you're asking. I know I can't breathe without you in this room." He pulled her between his legs, hands sliding up the backs of her thighs. "I know the second you walked in here, I started living again." Naomi's breath caught. She leaned down, kissed him slow and deep like she was sealing a vow. "Then I'm yours," she whispered against his lips. "But we do this my way." By noon, the penthouse looked like a war room. Naomi, now in black jeans, and one of his cashmere sweaters that hung off one shoulder, had 3 monitors running dark web crawlers, while Gabriel's flustered assistant delivered her new badge. Naomi Duval, head of forensic security. The staff stared. Gabriel didn't care. That first night she officially lived there, he carried her over the threshold like a bride, kicked the bedroom door shut, and made love to her against it, slow, reverent, like he was thanking every god who'd sent her. After, lying tangled in silk sheets, city glittering below them, he traced the curve of her hip. "Tell me something true," he murmured. She turned, hair spilling across the pillow like midnight. "I've wanted you since the first Thursday I saw you standing at that window, looking like the loneliest man on earth." His heart cracked open. "Why didn't you ever speak?" "Because invisible people stay alive longer." She brushed her thumb across his bottom lip. "Until someone makes them want to be seen." He kissed her palm, then her wrist, then the inside of her elbow, mapping her like sacred text. Some nights were fire. She'd push him into the shower fully clothed, strip him under scalding water, drop to her knees, and take him in her mouth until he was begging her name against the tile. Some nights were worship. He'd draw a bath scented with jasmine, wash her back with trembling hands, kiss water from her shoulder blades until she turned and pulled him under with her, riding him slow while steam curled around them like incense. Every night, emotion first. Every touch carried the weight of almost losing everything. 3 weeks in, she found the first real breadcrumb. She woke him at 4 a.m., laptop glowing on the bed between them. "Look." She pointed to a transaction timestamp. "Someone routed the attack through a shell company registered to your oldest friend." Gabriel stared at the name on screen. Julian Hart, his college roommate. Best man at his first wedding. Godfather to the dog he no longer had. "No," he whispered. "Not Julian." Naomi closed the laptop gently, climbed into his lap, wrapped her arms around his neck. "I'm sorry, baby," she said against his throat. "But betrayal always comes wearing the face you trust most." He buried his face in her neck, breathing her in like oxygen. She held him while he broke just a little, then kissed the tears from the corners of his eyes. "I've got you," she promised. "We do this together." The next morning, Gabriel walked into the office wearing the coldest smile Wall Street had ever seen. Naomi walked 2 steps behind him, in a tailored black suit that made grown men forget their own names. Julian greeted them in the executive lounge, all charm and concern. "Gabe, thank God you pulled through. I've been worried sick." Gabriel's voice was ice. "Have you?" Naomi stepped forward, smile sweet as poison. "Julian, we need to talk about the merger file you requested last night." Julian's eyes flicked panic, then gone. "What merger file?" She held up her phone. A single encrypted document glowed. The bait. Julian reached for it. Naomi pulled back just enough. Come to the boardroom tonight. Midnight, we'll show you everything. He hesitated, then smiled. Of course. As they walked away, Gabriel's hand found the small of her back, needing her touch to stay upright. In the elevator, alone, he pressed her against the mirrored wall. You're terrifying, he breathed, kissing her hard. She laughed into his mouth. You haven't seen anything yet. Comment, trust no one, if your heart just dropped. Share this video with someone who needs to feel this kind of love, the kind that fights battles naked at 4 a.m. Midnight. The boardroom was dark, except for the city bleeding neon through the windows. Julian walked in wearing confidence like cologne. Gabe, darling, you look like hell. Still letting that little cleaner play hacker? Gabriel didn't answer. He simply pressed a key. The wall lit up. Bank records. Encrypted texts. A Cayman account in Julian's dying mother's name. Every dirty secret laid bare in cold green code. Julian's smile died. Naomi stepped from the shadows in a midnight silk dress that clung like liquid sin, heels clicking once slow, deliberate. Hello, Julian. He lunged. Gabriel was already moving faster than money, faster than rage, slamming Julian chest first onto the glass table. The crack echoed like a gunshot. Security poured in, cuffs ready. Julian thrashed, spitting venom. You think she loves you? She's using you, Gabe. She's been playing you since the first night. Gabriel's fist cocked. Naomi's hand closed over his wrist, gentle, unbreakable. He's not worth the broken bones, love. She leaned down to Julian's ear, voice velvet in venom. You touched what's mine. Be grateful he's merciful. They dragged Julian away screaming. The doors shut. Silence. Gabriel stood trembling, rage, grief. 12 years of brotherhood turned to ash. Naomi turned him to face her, took both his hands, placed them over her heart. Breathe with me. He tried. Failed. The first tear fell. She caught it with her thumb, then kissed the spot it had been. Come home, she whispered. In the elevator up to the penthouse, he shattered. Back against the mirrored wall, he slid to the floor, billionaire, king, broken boy. Naomi knelt in front of him, dress pooling like spilled ink. She unbuttoned his shirt slowly, kissing every inch she uncovered collarbone, chest, the place overly over his heart that now beat only for her. When she reached his belt, he caught her hands. I don't deserve. Shut up, she said softly, and kissed him until he forgot how to speak. She undressed him like he was something holy. Then she stood, let the silk dress fall, and straddled him right there on the elevator floor. Slow, deliberate, eyes locked. She took him inside her like she was forgiving every wound he'd ever carried. Every roll of her hips was a promise. You are safe. You are enough. You are mine. He clung to her, face buried between her breasts, whispering her name like a lifeline. When she felt him start to unravel, she slowed, cupped his face. Look at me when you come apart, Gabriel. I want to see the man only I get to hold. He did. After, she wrapped him in her arms and carried his weight all the way to their bed. She tucked him in, climbed in behind him, legs tangled, her hand over his heart. I've got you, she murmured into his nape. Sleep. Tomorrow we burn the rest of the bridges that need burning. He turned in her arms, nose to nose. Marry me. The words slipped out raw, unplanned. She smiled small, stunned, radiant. I was going to ask you tomorrow. I already bought the ring. He laughed through fresh tears. I hate you. No, you don't. She kissed him soft. You love me so hard it scares you. Yeah, he breathed. Terrifies me. Good, she whispered. Love should. Comment, he proposed on the floor, if you're crying with me right now. Drop a heart if you believe real love looks like holding someone while they break, then loving them harder on the other side. 6 months later, a private island in the Caribbean. The sun bled liquid gold across the water, and Gabriel Laurent waited barefoot in white linen, heart hammering louder than the waves. He had everything money could buy, yet the only thing that mattered was walking toward him right now. Naomi. White lace clung to every curve he'd memorized with his mouth. Her hair was loose, wild curls dancing in the salt wind, carrying orange blossoms and the promise of forever. No guess but the ocean and the sky. She stopped an inch from him, barefoot, toes painted the same crimson as the sunset. The officiant spoke soft words about love and storms and second chances. Then it was their turn. Naomi took his hands, looked straight into the soul she'd saved, and spoke the vows that broke him all over again. Gabriel, I was invisible until the night you roared at me to leave, and I stayed anyway. You looked at me with everything you had left, and I have never wanted to be seen by anyone else since. I promised to fight every battle beside you, to kiss every scar you try to hide, to love you out loud for the rest of my life, and to never, ever let you forget my name. His voice cracked on the first word, Naomi. You caught me the night I fell. You handed me back my empire, my heart, and a future I didn't know how to dream. I will spend every day earning the miracle of you. Every night I belong to you. Body, soul, all of it. I choose you today. I will choose you every morning I wake up breathing. And when we're old and gray, I'll still be the man begging you to stay. He slid the ring on her finger, a black diamond set in rose gold, rare and unbreakable, just like her. She slipped its mate on his. Then the officiant barely got the words out. You may kiss your wife. He didn't wait. He kissed her like the world was ending and beginning in the same breath. Hands in her hair, her body arched into his, the ocean roaring its approval. That night, the villa doors stood open to the stars. They made love on every surface that could hold them. First in the infinity pool, her back against cool tile, legs wrapped around his waist, water lapping at their skin as he moved inside her slow and deep, whispering her name like a prayer against her throat. Then on the daybed under the moon, her on top, riding him with the lazy rhythm of waves, hair cascading over them both like silk curtains, his hands gripping her hips hard enough to leave tomorrow's bruises. Later on the floor, because they never made it to the bed, urgent, breathless, laughing between kisses when sand stuck to their skin. Every time he slid inside her, he told her again, I love you, I love you, I love you, until the words blurred into the sound of her crying out his name against his shoulder. After the third or fourth time, they lay tangled on the cool tile, her head on his chest, his fingers drawing endless circles along her spine. She traced the new ring on his finger. Still terrified? She whispered. He smiled into her hair. More than ever. And I've never been happier. She lifted up, kissed him soft and slow. Good. Forever should feel a little dangerous. Every year, on the anniversary of that stormy October night, the ritual is the same. Gabriel closes every blind in the penthouse, pours 2 glasses of 1,926 Macallan, finds Naomi waiting in nothing but candlelight in one of his white shirts, top 3 buttons undone, sleeves rolled, barefoot on the marble. They don't speak at first. They dance slow, barefoot, to a song only they can hear. He spins her, pulls her back flush against him, lips at her ear. Remember the night you refused to leave? She turns in his arms, fingers sliding into his hair. How could I forget the night I fell in love with a furious, beautiful, broken man? He lifts her onto the same desk where everything began, kisses her until the past and the present melt together. They make love like the world is still ending and beginning all at once, because for them, it always is. Years pass. Empires grow. Children with her eyes and his stubborn chin fill the penthouse with laughter. But every October, the staff knows to disappear at sunset, because some stories are too sacred for witnesses. And every year, the billionaire who once fired his cleaning lady in rage thanks whatever God sent her through that door, and loves her harder than the night before, because she didn't just save his empire, she became his whole world. And he will never stop being the man who begs her to stay. If this story made your heart race, your eyes water, and your soul believe in love again, do me a favor right now. Hit that like button so hard it feels personal. Share this video with the one person who needs to remember that sometimes the greatest love stories start with a slammed door and a woman brave enough to walk through it anyway. Comment, "She was his miracle," if you felt every second of this. And if you're new here, welcome to the family. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because every week I bring you love this real, this raw, this breathtaking. This is Mr. Cael Stories, where we don't just tell love stories, we make you fall all over again. See you in the next one, beautiful souls. Never forget, the right person will see you at your worst and choose to stay anyway.